This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Unette Gentry. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Give them a call, 727-9900. Today's news is also brought to you by Gunny's Air Conditioning and Heating. New service and repair. Call Gunny's 775-727-6800.
Welcome to News 25. It's a crazy day out there
Yes,
weather-wise. We're going to find out more about your weather later in the broadcast. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Unette Gentry. It's Tuesday, December 28th, the last Tuesday of 2021.
Well, first responders got a signal from a cell phone that helped them find an off-road crash this afternoon. We spoke to Fire Chief Scott Lewis.
Crews were dispatched for a report of an off-road accident. It was a vast area that we were covering down on the dry lake bed. It was unknown exactly where it was. Using coordinates and assistance with the Sheriff's Office, Captain Pahrump provided us a general idea of where this accident occurred. Unfortunately, as we went out onto the dry lake bed due to recent rains, we had a lot of standing water and were unable to make the accident from a south direction. So crews came in from multiple directions, including the north and the east, and we eventually were able to make access to the vehicle. We've rewrited it and we're towing it out with several patients on board. Our medic is currently awaiting for arrival and will transport to the local hospital. They did provide coordinates. We were able to use GPS to try and isolate the area. Unfortunately, in the topography and also the conditions out in the dry lake bed is really what caused us the greatest difficulty today, because you can't see the accident from any of the road surfaces. And the second part is due to, again, to those recent heavy rains, the dry lake bed is very saturated with a lot of standing water. Even our four-wheel drives were near and stuck out there, affecting the rescue.
And Chief Lewis tells News 25 the most serious injury appears to be a fracture. 3 people were reported to be on the off-road vehicle when it overturned.
And the Nye County Sheriff's Office is reporting, thankfully, there were no reported injuries in a single vehicle rollover crash that involved a tractor trailer. It happened around 10 p.m. Monday night on US 95 near mile marker 85. And that roadway remained open during the investigation and crash cleanup. And
a 911 call for a person with a gun leads to the arrest of a Pahrump man who now faces 2 felony charges. Brad Francis has those details.
Ronald Taniguchi has been booked into the Nye County Detention Center on 1 count of assault with a deadly weapon and 1 count of discharging a gun into an occupied structure. Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies were called to a home on East Zolan Avenue in Pahrump after a man called 911 to report Taniguchi had a gun and had fired a shot through his bedroom door. According to the arrest report, the victim told deputies Taniguchi knocked on his bedroom door, and when he opened it, Taniguchi was holding a handgun. The man went on to describe how he quickly shut the door, then crouched at the bottom of the door to keep it closed, saying Taniguchi was trying to force his way into the room. A moment later, the victim says he heard a gunshot and saw a hole through the bedroom door. He called 911 immediately. When deputies arrived on scene, the victim told them Taniguchi was mad because he thought he had stolen from him. When detectives spoke to Taniguchi, they say he told them he would have shot the victim in the knee if he would have stolen his full $600. Taniguchi went on to say that he shot at the victim to scare him. Taniguchi was placed under arrest and transported to jail.
And in reports of another arrest, a Pahrump man is arrested. This time, he was suspected of a home invasion.
Justin Ream is under arrest and facing a felony count of home invasion. On the evening of December 14th, Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies were dispatched to a home on East Bennett Street for a home invasion in progress. When deputies made contact with the victim and reporting party, he told them Ream unlawfully forced entry into his home, causing damage to the front door. A woman at the residence verified the victim's statement. While searching the property, deputies located Ream, who was still in the backyard. Responding officers also observed damage to the front door consistent with the victim's statement. Ream was placed under arrest for forcefully entering an inhabited dwelling and causing damage to the front door without permission of the owner. He was transported to the Nye County Detention Center, where he was booked accordingly.
All right, more local news when News 25 returns.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, if you bought a live cut Christmas tree this year, you may be wondering what to do with it when the holidays are over. As Heather Freeman from the University of Nevada Cooperative Extension reminds us, recycling is always a good option.
As usual, this year we will be recycling live cut Christmas trees now through January 20th. We'll be collecting them at the corner of Calvada and Dandelion at the property, 1651 East Calvada. There'll be a big blue sign, and we ask that people please remove all decoration, including the tinsel. It really helps out on the actual day when Layton Tree Service, sponsored by Valley Electric, comes by to chip and shred them that we use for mulch in the garden. It helps with conserving water. It smells wonderful on the day that they chip them, and what's incredible is they can go through about 90 trees in about 20 minutes. It's open, usually just alongside the fence behind the little free library by 4-H.
All right.
So they can just throw them over there's a little gate you can open, and people will see the stack.
And toss them right in there.
Yep.
Again, the University of Nevada Cooperative Extension is located at the corner of Calvada Boulevard and Dandelion Street, right here in Pahrump. You can drop off your live cut Christmas tree anytime. If you have questions about the Christmas tree recycling program, you can call the Extension office at 775-727-5532.
Well, your kids were probably really looking forward to winter break, but with all of that free time on their hands, they could get a bit bored. So pediatrician Dr. Gina Robinson with Cleveland Clinic Children's is giving parents some ideas.
Lately, I've been hearing a lot of kids saying how much playing video games is their favorite activity. So I would like to try to see that shift back to them actually doing something active rather than being passive and sitting in front of the TV or playing video games.
Dr. Robinson says there are plenty of options. For example, if you live in a colder climate where there's snow, they can build a snowman, have a snowball fight, go skiing or sledding. Other ideas include going to the library to pick out some books to read or take a walk in the park to get some fresh air. You could also do arts and crafts or maybe bake some cookies. And many kids are sure to have gotten some video games or computer games for the holidays, so they're probably going to want to play those. But Dr. Robinson says screen time really should be limited.
I would try to set limits and boundaries before the games even come out and say, this is how much time we have for games. If you'd like to let them earn a few extra minutes by doing chores or tasks around the house, that's another way to make them feel like they're able to get more time. But we really don't want to just have unlimited game time all day.
According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, media use for children under the age of 2 is not recommended, and kids older than that should be limited to only 2 hours a day. Dr. Robinson says parents should not feel bad if they go over that time, but says it's important not to make a habit of it.
All right, if you need some expert advice going into this new year, we're asking Angie right after this break.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
Well, many of us use our garages for parking our cars and storing bikes and tools. But one thing this last year taught us is how to better utilize the space we have. In today's Ask Angie segment, Bailey Carson discusses how to go about renovating your garage to give you more useful space that better fits your lifestyle.
The more livable space, the better. We're always running out of storage space and could definitely use some better organization in the space we do have. Bailey Carson, a home expert from Angie, is here to offer some advice on how to overhaul your underutilized garage space.
Updating your garage is a great investment project since it will give you more useful space and open up storage. Start by thinking about how you want to use the space. Do you want to use it for hobbies, exercising, or maybe even hosting guests? Or is it a simple storage space expansion?
Try to be realistic about how you plan to use your remodeled garage space. Find a quality local pro to help make sure your project is achievable within your budget and timeline. A great pro will also help map out your new garage space to make sure you can still fit your cars inside when it's all done.
Once you have your pro, you need to talk about the plans. Will this be a full livable space or just more storage area? Depending on that, you'll want to talk about HVAC, electrical, and plumbing needs, which can make it comfortable year-round.
It's important to ask a lot of questions, even if you're just adding a storage system. Think about things like, how secure are the shelves and cabinets? Am I utilizing wall space? Do we need to raise the roof? Will the things I use most be easily accessible? Will my car still fit inside?
Safety is another key consideration when remodeling your garage. While windows look great and can add natural light, they do make it easier to break in. You may want to consider a security system or at least motion detecting lights on the outside. And of course, don't forget doors or keypads on each of the entrances.
Garage doors have electronic sensors that cannot be blocked, and depending on how you'll use the space, it will have different ventilation requirements. These issues are best handled by an experienced pro who can make sure everything is installed right the first time.
When investing in any major renovation project, it's always important to think about how it will impact resale value. Try not to go too over the top with your garage renovation. And think about if you're adding a very unique feature, will it really add value or potentially take away?
Have questions about your home projects or home care business? Tweet your question using hashtag AskAngie. That's hashtag ASKANGI, and you may get some tips in an upcoming segment.
All right, and now here is your great computer deals, communication, and tech tip with Josh Osborne.
Hi guys, Josh Osborne with Great Computer Deals. It's time for another quick tutorial, viewer question edition. One viewer asks how to use your smartphone responsibly in the car. Many cars nowadays have a great built-in system for connecting to your iPhone or your Android smartphone. And many of these are specific to one of these two options. But most cars nowadays should have a universal technology called Bluetooth. You've probably already heard of this before. If you haven't already, you need to sync your smartphone with your car's Bluetooth. Then when calls are either received or placed, you'll be able to talk undistracted. If you don't know how to sync your smartphone with your car, check out the user's manual, look for help online, or stop by our store, we can help. Keep in mind, legally you can't ever use your phone while operating a vehicle. I recently got a ticket for changing my music while at the stoplight. Lesson learned. Why trust a technician when you can trust a friend? Great Computer Deals is located at 1190 East Highway 372. Call us at 775-990-8833.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need it checked? Call 702-877-1500.
The mountains, sleet in the valley, clouds everywhere. A closer look, low-lying clouds. We'll take a look at our forecast and how long you need to grab that umbrella for after the break.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios. Lovely to see you on a Monday after Christmas. Feeling that Monday letdown blues after Christmas? I think we all are. And the weather's not really helping. I mean, look at this. Fernley, Fallon, Carson City, all stuck in the mid-30s. Goldfield and Tonopah, they're looking at you with envy. 28 degrees out in Tonopah. You're not living right at all. Goldfield, 31. What's going on? 45 out to Beatty. Okay, you've got the right attitude in Beatty, 45 degrees. Out in Amargosa and Las Vegas, they're tied at 53 degrees for highs today. Death Valley saw 60, not a lot there. 45 here in Pahrump currently. And we're heading down to low tonight of 31 degrees. Cloudy skies picking up. Might see some scattered showers out there on the horizon. I think that's what they're saying for this evening. 78% humidity. Yeah, that checks out. 4:36 p.m. the sun set, and it'll rise again in all its glory and promise for the hope of a new day at 6:54 tomorrow morning. Won't that be lovely? A high tomorrow, 42 degrees, a low of 29 as the winds gently buffet us out of the south to 5 miles per hour. Heading into the week with all that humidity, what do we got? Lots of clouds. Oh, look at this. Rain, rain, rain on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Not so wonderful, but look at Saturday, Sunday coming up. Beautiful clear skies, and those temperatures increasing from highs of 42 all the way up to 47 come Monday. It'll be all right. I think I stole that from Jimmy Buffett. Yeah, you could steal from better people, I guess, or worse. Here's back to the desk and Deanna.
You know what I always do? I go up on the Pahrump Road Commuters Report because people take videos. Dangerous, by the way. I don't.
While you're driving, we don't recommend it, but it is good to know the live conditions. Yes, pull over.
Yeah, but they let you know what's going on at the top of the mountain up there, and they're saying light snow right now.
Yes, and it was sleeting coming into town, but be careful when you go over the pass, going to and from Las Vegas from Pahrump. It is slippery out there. Be careful.
Hopefully they've got some salt on the roadway this time. I know that we had a little hiccup the last time, and they were so great to give us all the notifications of when the snow plows were out there and everything.
Yes.
I know you're driving back. You got to be careful.
Yes, I will be careful. I will watch out for others and myself on the roadway. And please do so, everyone out there. Slow down. That destination will be there no matter what. We need you to get there safely.
There's another night that we're looking at, and that's Thursday night.
That's right.
Because that's got some
more
cold
weather
temps
rolling
as well.
in. Yes.
So definitely be careful out there. There's no rush, okay? Just be careful. And if you're going to go take videos for us, send them to us. You can even send them by messenger, but pull over the side of the road. There's some turnabouts up there.
That's
All
right.
Well, that's going to wrap up this edition of News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Unette Gentry. And from all of us here at KPVM and Ace Country Radio, thanks so much for joining us this last Tuesday of 21. And we'll see you again next newscast.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.